What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Regular Guys Podcast. I'm Mike today and today's show is loaded, and I mean loaded with with everything that we want to talk about for the conference championship games. The two that's tomorrow at 3 o'clock and at 6:30. We're starting with everything happening around the NFL: coaches hiring, firings, interviews, front office moves, and major league moves. Then we will shift gears and back down to Championship Sunday. The Final Four, injuries, matchups, and who's headed to the Super Bowl. Let's start with what's shaking around the league right now. First, I want to start with the coaching carousel. First, I want to start with the coaching carousel and everything that's been going on, football, everything that's been going on with the coaches carousel, which I think a lot of people is kind of interested in because I think the main one that a lot of people want to, talk about or hear about or, do their thing about is hardball. When it's what's going on with hardball and everything. And I think the fit in Baltimore, the fit that was in Baltimore isn't a fit no more. And I think with the Giants being there, can that give the NFC East what they're looking for? So this offseason, the NFL coaching carousel is moving fast. Teams are not waiting anymore. Owners want answers now, especially when it comes to quarterback development and offensive identity. We're already seeing firings, hirings, and interviews stacking up across the league. So, with that being said, I'd like to welcome my special guests in, Carlos and Belinda. How y'all doing today on this cold day?
Woo! We're dealing with it. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, yeah, especially with this storm that's coming in, the snow amounts that they keep talking about and everything else. But what I want to do is I want to jump into the coaches' moves, the hirings and stuff, and basically which ones surprised y'all.
None of them. No, the one that surprised me the most was the San Diego choice. I mean, the Ravens choice from the Los Angeles Chargers. Mentor.
Right, Jesse Mental. And that's one that I think me and Will was talking about, and I'm waiting for him to jump on. But me and Will was talking about, and he was saying basically, um, I want to get Colin's take on it and see what I think. To me, it was a bad hire, and the reason why I say that is you bringing in a coaching staff or a coach that was there before.
Yep.
You're bringing in to me a coordinator that's basically is going to bring that Buffalo offense to Baltimore, which means you're going to turn Lamar into Josh Allen. And he was like, "Nah, that's not going to happen." And I'm like, "I'm telling you, all you have to do is go back, look at what Buffalo did this year as on the offensive side of the ball, and you can easily, scheme against that." And so
Yes.
he felt that wasn't the case. So I like to get y'all input on it.
I agree with you. I always tell callers, I said, why do they go back and keep picking the same old guys over and over again? How can you get anywhere with that? Just flip flopping different people between teams. They need to just get some fresh ideas in there, get some newer coaches, somebody who, know the game very well, and maybe give the younger coaches like in the colleges a chance to do the NFL. Instead of picking the same old guys over and over again, the defensive coordinators and the offensive coordinators to be a coach. I understand up mobility, but A lot of times, like you said, bringing them from another team, they're going to bring those ideas from that team over because that's all they know. People are not original. There's no originality in this culture anymore. So
And
all they're going to do is just keep showing the same old stuff
Carousel.
over and over from different teams, bringing it to another. It's a waste.
If you are
Carlos,
successful, if you are successful in your field, and in this case in football, in your mentors, in your up and coming young minds, as they say, and if you are up for improvements and change, just like McVeigh, just like going back when Phil Jackson with the Bulls, a new concept, you're going to get that way for a while until it changes. Right now, I think with these hiring of the younger coaches, going back to when Tomlin came on board, everybody was in the 30s. Gruden, they were 30, mid 30s years old, or a little younger. So they were young minds, but now it's just like it's a carousel. You pulling people from upstairs in the booth, calling the plays. They ain't never been on the field. You got to have camaraderie on the field and in the locker room so that you can get everybody together. But we'll see how it go. You move and transfer, hire till you get it right, and that's just gonna be ongoing.
well,
You'll see, Mike.
I agree with you 1000%. And I'm one of them where when the hire happened, he was, what do you think about the hire? I said it was a bad hire. Then all of a sudden it's, well, if it was Washington, I said no, it's not that. It's prime example. I say if you want to use them, I like what they did and not going after, one of the other coaches or anybody out there because you're bringing somebody in that basically you have to scheme against, and you never seen what they done. So it's going to be hard to scheme against them. And I was saying with the defense and the off, you can scheme against your defense and offense. And I told him, I said, look, that Baltimore right now hiring Mentor and bringing in Dorsey, Baltimore to me took what 2 steps back. To me, it's going to be another 2 to 3 years before they get back to where they are because not only that, they're not bringing everybody back. A lot of them are going to jump ship and go to New York with Harbaugh. So
Mhm.
so, and I was trying to explain that to him. And I just wanted to get y'all those of y'all insights on that and a little bit more on basically what y'all think may happen because I like the fact that Harbaugh is in the NFC East.
Well, that's what I was going to add. My part two to this B side is that when you see these major moves, coaches, players, they always go to another conference to continue their field of business. So Harbaugh being over in the AFC, now he comes to the NFC. So you're going to have a new concept, a new approachment to take that team out of what has always been either your divisional concept of what you all are known for, all 4 teams, all 5 teams in that division, and now you got the swapping of AFC, NFC, and plus one thing that caught my attention, Mike, and I don't know if you picked up on it. Mentor was a long time assistant to Harbaugh, the brother.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
so, yeah, see, so you have someone you have confidence in that that's willing to that say maybe deserves an opportunity. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt,
Hmm.
and you're good until you can prove you can win or you have a program or a process that is um, successful. You might have a good season or two. You might have a bad season, just like Detroit. They came out the box with the new coach and the new assistants, and they were winning. New England, they had to back up because they were just as sorry as we are in the 2000s.
Right.
Now we have to back up. Now let me bring this into your statement. When you all went out and got Eric Bieniemy, whatever his name is, from Kansas City,
Bienemy. Be enemy, right?
Right. See, that was a change because you're bringing in an AFC offensive minded guy to the NFC. And now I'm not coming at you, but I'm coming at the theory of thought. Now we have an opportunity to improve our offense that likes of what some of these other teams have not seen. But for some reason it didn't pan out with management. So now that you all got another offensive coordinator and it looked like y'all were making some headway, but then you let him go. So when these organizations make changes like that, and I call it experimenting, and whoever's on board, you stay. If you're not on board, you out.
Right. And I agree. And the reason why I said that is good that, Harbaugh got a start is for to me for two reasons. One, you get to now carry a big market by yourself. Okay, that's one. And then two, it's I want to see what you're going to do with Jackson Dart. I want to see if because now if so if you compare rosters, if you compare Baltimore roster to New York's roster, believe it or not, New York roster is way better. Okay, their defense is better. Their offense is better. They got receivers on the outside. They have a tight ends. They have a running game. They have everything that Harbaugh wanted in Baltimore. Remember, Lamar never had receivers. He still don't his whole time there. And I don't know what the reason why they never surrounded him with the best talent there is, but they just didn't. But to me, is one of them where now instead of you bringing in an offensive minded head coach and quote as they say, Lamar's supposed to be part of the process. And from what I hear, he wanted Kingsbury. He didn't want who they currently brought in. So it's one of them to me of saying, hey, what philosophy are they doing basically on both offense and defensive side of the ball? And then also given the fact that Harbaugh now has a younger team, how can he gel and mold this team so that they won't be like Baltimore?
Well, this is why he's been given the contract he's been given. See, that's the other thing you have to look at when there is a constant move of personnel in the organization down to the coaching staff and then down to the players. Baltimore, like some of the other teams, and I don't really like trying to present this, but this is the hidden entity. Oh man, it's hard to phrase it this way, but we've always been given, we have to work harder. And then when I say we, meaning people of color, we have to work harder. So Lamar, the after Ray Lewis and them, they proved that they were capable. You go get a quarterback finally because Flacco is out. You gave him an opportunity because didn't nobody know about Flacco. So you clean slate and say, all right, if you're gonna be this guy, you do the miracle. So it's just like if you look at the Chargers, Herbert is the miracle for the Chargers, but it ain't happening.
Right.
You tried to make Atlanta. What's the he used to be your quarterback. Can't think of his name at the moment.
Kirk Cousins.
Cousins. See, they
Right.
tried to make Cousins the guy, but some of them just don't have it. As they say, that it factor.
Right.
And some of our guys have the it factor, but they're gonna push. Dart right now has that Elway type mentality. Peyton Manning type mentality is with the Patriots quarterback. So you got guys that fit other guys' enthusiasm for the game, their knowledge or whatever they had, that drive. We'll
Okay.
see. Time will tell.
Did so was you able to watch the national championship game and see bits and pieces of what Mendoza could do?
With the little bit I watch, um, because I was into another program. Sorry to say, sports fan, but like I told my uncle, I was not that impressed because most college quarterbacks, you're playing, as we would say, a young man's game where you're not playing with experienced players, meaning you're not playing an adult game. He looked better than 50%. Then other times they kind of they gave him what they were promoting him for, because I saw Miami really not play hard. I saw Miami not try to win that game. I just saw them just like you would see a losing team. Oh, we know we have to lose this game. Let's just go out and play. That's what
Right.
I saw with Miami, to make Mendoza look good,
He looked medium.
Now,
He,
average.
he looked average. He wasn't all that. He didn't do any plays or anything like that. He just played regular ball, and wasn't nothing exciting about him. And he
right.
seemed a little nervous to me too. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, clock management ball and all of that. So this question is posed to both of y'all, and I want to get y'all input on it. So, and we know the saying was there's smoke, there's fire. Okay. It's been a lot of smoke about Lamar coming to the Raiders.
What?
Right. What do y'all feel about that? And what is y'all input on basically that smoke happening?
All right. I sensed that last year. I sensed that last year when Geno Smith got hurt. And I said, who are they going to pull trade for another team within the conference? And it kind of popped up in conversation. I want to say the 24th season, maybe around game 11 or game 12. And then no more was said about it because Lamar was sitting out. Remember, he was sitting out most of that season. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're willing to pull him. But I think to give him a new start and to open up our new offense until they can get who they really want in that position, Brady and management decide really which direction they want to go and where the game is going.
Well, Brady and them are trying to rebuild that thing.
I know, but I'm saying you still got to get somebody that's going to make the people want to come see. And
I got
Lamar is still a draw. He's still a draw. So I'm kind of okay with it.
I would love it. I would buy a ticket.
just to see him in the Raiders uniform. Two things. First of all, I want to say, welcome, Will. Glad that you can join us. And
No problem.
also, I'm coming with breaking news, and this has just happened 22 minutes ago.
Uh-oh.
Mike McCarthy looks like they're working on a deal to become the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that's been the makers for a long while.
Yeah, and wow, that's thing. But since we got you here, Will, I want to get your input on both on the Raiders on no the Ravens on what they've been doing, and the fact of the conversation that me and you had about them bringing in Mentor and also them bringing in Joe Barry. Now, from my understanding, from what Belinda and Carlos said was they should have brought in somebody with new, fresher ideas instead of basically somebody that used to be a coordinator or somebody that used to be on staff. And also with Brady, you're going to see that Buffalo style offense. What is your input on it? How do you feel about that? And also, how do you feel about the smoke that is being brought in about Lamar going to the Raiders?
Um, first, I'm gonna step outside, girl. Well, first and foremost, the Ravens never had a defensive coordinator at the DC as a coach. They had an offensive guy in Billick. They had a special teams guy and John Harbaugh.
Hey, look what
This,
both of them did.
but both won Super Bowls.
Right. As as,
So
as first time, hold on, but as first time play callers. Remember,
as for
Harbaugh never called plays
it,
and which call never called plays. But go ahead.
but I'm saying so. This would be their first defensive DC as a head coach in Baltimore history
Okay.
and
Okay.
everything. And then second of all, they were just talking about the other day on TV about Jesse Mentor, what he had to work with in San Diego. Had good players, but not as talented players. He dealt with injury, and his defense has been ranked in the top 10, top 5, and top 10 the last 2 years he's been there. Because prior to him coming there, San Diego defense couldn't was ranked dead last.
I want you to hear what I'm gonna say on that.
So it's an improvement. It'll be an improvement coming here as the DC for, as the head coach slash defensive coordinator for the Ravens. So it wouldn't for the Ravens. So it wouldn't be a lose-lose situation at all. And sometimes fresh blood, fresh ideas is a good thing.
Well,
But it's
y'all got an old defense, but I'm gonna let Collins chime in on that.
Okay, Mentor coming to the Ravens. When I first heard it, I said, "Okay, he's coming. He's bringing the freshness, as you would say, Will.
yeah,
He's still within the conference of the AFC, so then the other teams are not going to be that surprised. Like I say, they're giving this young man an opportunity, depending on the type of contract they sign. If Lamar stays, traded, if he doesn't get traded off season, Mentor is willing to coach him, or at least be there. Then the Ravens should fare pretty well. Now
right.
switching over to possibly coming to Pittsburgh.
They can have him.
That move to me says, even
Y'all
though
gonna lose.
even though that's a rumor that I hate saying his name,
What?
the quarterback,
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
See, Rodgers and McCarthy go back to the good old days. Now,
Rodgers not returning to Pittsburgh though.
what'd you say, Will?
Rodgers is not returning to Pittsburgh.
I said the rumor is, but see, that's just throwing that out there because Rodgers left before the news broke about Tomlin. You remember he had to say he's going away.
Right.
So if they're saying he's not coming back, then why do you need McCarthy? Because then you want to try to change your traditional ways to move forward. All he's
Right.
going to do is keep the same rim. That's why he took a year off. I'm going to say a year to reassess after being with the Cowboys. But I'm looking at that only to kind of build a new continued relations with Rodgers and to keep people kind of hoping. Now I'm gonna leave that alone because that's Pittsburgh.
right.
That's their internal problem. But overall, the league is trying to still keep people interested by moving the pieces of moving puzzle pieces around to keep interest. I'm not gonna get into the money part of it because it is what it is, salary wise or contractual wise. 5 years seems to be the minimum that they want to give these coaches and assistant coaches opportunities, which is okay. You got to rebuild and you got to put somebody together. All these young college players that are coming out. The biggest thing I'm concerned about, Mike, Will, that I've heard that kind of is over the horizon is now the college players, those that have some recognition in this transport portal are now suing the schools if their words are not kept. So that's another thing I heard. I cannot think of the young man the young player that sued after he transferred, but there are quite a few they said that have filed lawsuits. That's a whole nother issue there that's going to dictate who gets that exposure in your conference.
Yeah, you're right. So right now we got out of the 10 coaching vacancies, we got 6 down for to go. And I want to touch on the 6 that's basically been hired, and we already set out input on one. But I'm gonna chime in on that one after y'all say y'all's. So we got Harbaugh to the Giants, we got Kevin Stefanski to Atlanta, we got Jeff Hafley to the Dolphins. We got Robert Saleh to Tennessee, Jesse Mentor to the Ravens, and Mike McCarthy to the Steelers. The 4 that's remaining is the Bills, the Browns, the Raiders, and Arizona. First I want to touch on the 6, and then I want to get on the 4, and then go from there. And then we're going to jump into the games in the conference championships for tomorrow. But I want to get all of y'all, um, insight on these 6 hirings, starting with Harbaugh to the Giants.
I
Well,
really don't have. I
everybody
don't
talk.
have no.
Go ahead.
I don't have no thoughts about it. I mean, just wait and see
Just wait and see what. That's elaborate. You saying wait and see. Wait and see what?
how it pans out to be. I don't know. I mean,
If I'm looking at it like this, if you look at it roster wise, I'm looking at the fact that roster wise they do have a better roster. So
Hello? Hello?
I don't know.
yeah,
We've
roster
been
wise,
dropped.
roster wise, what do you think? Because to me, the Giants has a better roster. So what do you think?
Okay. Will, I'm a piggyback off you, but I'm only going to say this to that. For you, Mike, that's in your division, so you need to worry about how Harbaugh is going to bring the Giants up to compete against the Eagles and the Commanders.
Mhm.
So that's where your focus should be. Me being in the AFC, it doesn't matter because he's out of the AFC. So on my focus will be on mental and how he builds the Ravens because he knows the AFC West with Kansas
Mhm.
City and the Raiders, and we're coming up. So that's where really when these coaches get hired, the team,
Excuse me. Hmm.
what
Yeah.
what what is it that they're really bringing, and
Yeah.
who are the other coaching staff people that they're going to hire or let go. So really, like you're saying, it has no significance, but it does because who's your competitor?
Competition, yeah.
I
All I care
mean,
about is the Cowboys, and I did find out that they are hiring or giving a chance to Christian Parker as the
who?
defensive coordinator.
Whoa,
Christian,
wow.
who's the Eagles passing game coordinator,
Okay.
as the next defensive coordinator. Like I was telling Carlos, I said we need a line. I'm sorry, they need to just clean house and bring somebody in there that wants to play this game. Because they were sorry. And I think if we had a better defensive line, we probably would have done much better in the season.
Yeah.
Um, so hopefully he can bring some innovation and change and fight within these guys to get them together. Now, hopefully they can replace some of them too. Carlos said they have 2 replacement spots or something like that. I don't know who they're gonna put in there, but they need to put somebody in there that want to play.
Right.
And one of the key
Um.
things, Mike, and everybody, is that you just have to have the personality's got to it
Click,
plays a big part.
click.
Because if you constantly butting heads, and I'm going back to what you stated earlier last year, Will, you got different levels of alphas in your locker room. Everybody, they're gonna be
Mhm.
butting heads. One
Yep.
gonna try to outdo the other.
Well,
One,
you know, y'all guys have nothing but egos
the
going on.
testosterone is is high, so
Yeah.
that's going to determine how far you go because you didn't, like I say, the Eagles have always presented that issue. They had a good um, coaching staff that had their players on the same point, and they were that dominant for a while in the league. Then you have the Patriots, who show what team camaraderie could be if you play as a team, no one bigger than the other. You got
Mhm.
Denver kind of that way. You have, but see, being what I'm about to say, the league in the sports arena always have to have a number one, number two guy. You either got to be number one or the number two guy that moves the wheel. So we'll see how it goes with all these changes. Time
You
will
know what?
tell.
You're right about that. And you know what I do say? I'm gonna say this. I say this. When you think about hardball, you think about Alabama's coach coming from a different conference to the SEC and trying to bring that style of play to the SEC. It took a while for it to work, but it's not working like he think it should work. But he's trying. So I guess what I'm saying is hardball can bring the AFC to the NFC, that style of AFC to the NFC. It may not work. It may not work
Mm.
because um, the one thing that Tom Coughlin had didn't have to do. Tom Coughlin came into an already made team, so his job was easy. So now that Harbaugh's coming into the NFC East, he got a hell of a task in front of him. He don't have
Mm-hmm.
them. He don't have them type players there. He don't have them. And to try to build and to try to change that culture, let's see how that works out for him.
Exactly.
It's just like Shanahan tried to change the concept that the Redskins had, but he had a fight with his general manager, Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when he was out west with Denver, he had Peyton.
Yep.
When he came to the Raiders, we had to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
But he couldn't quite put it together. We've had players, like I said, my Raiders, we've had players, but we haven't had a strong coach since Art Shell that really kept the Raider Nation together in the way that we played and moved forward. So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the culture of what you do, you just have to innovate it. Now, whether the Ravens, the Steelers, the Giants, and now the Eagles, and I don't know what's going to happen in San Francisco because Shanahan ain't getting it done there like they were thinking. Any other coach have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Have Arizona that just has been irrelevant. So you have to really ask the question, Mike, why are we on this changing of coaching carousel if none of these recent coaches and their
Well,
have
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say this, and to me, I hear what y'all saying. Hardball coming to the NFC East is great because he's not bring one. The NFC and the AFC play two different styles of football. Okay, the NFC plays pro football. The AFC plays college football. So it gives you the difference in the conference. That's why the NFC has been to darn near every darn Super Bowl there is, and we hold the edge as a conference on all of them. Because last I checked, we're the only conference where only one team hasn't been, and that's Detroit. So we're doing something right, and I think Harbaugh coming in and instilling that discipline that the Giants need to the Giants. I think the East is back, and they're going to be more competitive.
It's going, as we discussed, taking steps backwards of trying to incorporate his personality, into that team. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because not everybody's going to buy in right away.
I don't know. I think they will. I really do. It just depends on how because you have to realize one thing. One, he's dealing with a better roster than he had in Baltimore. Much younger and better roster than he had in Baltimore.
Okay, but the DC is not the same.
Dang, let me throw a little history in here. So, Mike, you hit on something, but what it's not that the NFC, let me say, the NFC has always been conservative because they are the originator of the football league. The AFL, when it came to be, were more flamboyant. They were more out there. They were willing to take chances to open the game up instead of just being a halfback, fullback, short passing offense. Don't really, put a little pressure. So if the NFC, the NFL is the brand name. The NFC has always been the leader in holding and therefore they're not going to relinquish their hold and let the AFL, AFC become the dominant poster boy or poster function of the NFL. That's what I'm trying to say. Because ever since the merger, it's always been league carried or the name. The AFL has always been, the AFC has always been the most interesting teams to watch because everybody say, oh, NFL, NFC teams are just plain, ordinary. They're not doing anything any different. So that's just a little history to bring you in today's game changing format. So that's why I think another thing with this coaching carousel is flipping their ideas to open the game up because now they got to bring the game worldwide. That's why you had the tush push because you got to get the rugby players, as I said this before, you got to get those type guys interested in football if you're going to present this to other countries, especially the European countries.
Right.
And that's my
No, I agree. Right. But like I said, I think to me, him going there makes makes them a little more better. Now,
That's
getting on.
debated.
What you mean?
just
How?
just make sure you subscribe. That's all. Just subscribe. That's what they want us to do.
Yeah, really.
Right. But I'm trying to figure out what he's saying of how. So you mean to tell me that Giants ain't got a better roster? Giants got a much better roster.
I'm not saying they don't have a better roster, but I'm just saying we don't know what their record's going to be and how they're going to be this year. We don't know.
That's true. But they got a better. They have Harbaugh has something he hasn't had in his last 8 years, 9 years.
What?
Better roster.
Mike,
What you
Mike,
thinking?
look at your commanders, man. Mike, look at your
He got
commanders
he
of
got
last
the
year to
Giants. No, listen. The Giants has always been a coach away. Okay, a coaching staff away. Okay, they got the defense. They got the offense. They got wide receivers. They got tight ends. They got a running game. They got a quarterback. They got everything in place now that can take them over that hump. Harbaugh
Okay.
hasn't had that. Lamar hasn't had elite receivers, good receivers. Okay. Hell, they Malik Neighbors can put up more numbers than any of your receivers that y'all have combined. Okay. They
I'm
they
not
they
giving them any excuse.
they
Know
they
the game, play the game.
That's right. You've been playing
they
this. You've been playing this game since you were toddlers. Okay, so you should know the game. You know the rules. Nothing's changed. Just get busy, do your job. You're getting paid millions of dollars, and you sitting up here acting like you don't even see the ball, or you acting like you don't even see the man go by you, or you missed the ball on purpose. Come on now.
I'm hurt. I can't play this whole
Yeah,
game.
that's crazy.
So you got to look at all avenues. Just because the roster looks good, Viva, the Commanders roster last year, two certain key players got hurt. Oh, we have injuries. You got guys that are mentally not there. So we just have to see how this plays out because once these endorsements come onto these players, their whole mentality
Yeah,
changes,
sure do.
and that's
Big
something that a lot
time.
of people aren't looking at.
Yep.
So that's what I say to all of this, Mike. Will we just
I
have to see
agree.
how it plays out?
I agree.
yeah. We like I said, we'll see how everything is and how everything will be. Now, I want to get into the most breaking news one of Mike McCarthy to Pittsburgh. I think that's a good move. I think
You
that's a
do.
good move. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that
tell you why.
lot. They'll
Why?
lose.
I'm gonna
Did
tell
you
you the
know?
reason. I'm gonna
Did you
tell you
know?
the reason why.
Why?
The reason why is you finally get to see the boy that y'all been fearing, Will Howard. He's going to bring Howard now, who should have been playing last year, who's better than Aaron Rodgers, younger and everything else. You're going to see him go out there and now perform. You're going to see Mike McCarthy build that offense up. The thing that's been holding them back is their offense, and it's never been their defense. Their offense been holding them back. Now their defense, they do got weaknesses in that they need that they should fix, but with Mike McCarthy there, and you finally have a coordinator that can call the offense, and he has a young quarterback that he can turn into something nice, that was a good look for Pittsburgh.
Mike McCarthy went. He put his name. His agent put his name in the to please hire me. You know,
He's desperate.
he's looking for a job. Just give me a what? I'll take it for 2 years. But I can't see that benefiting Pittsburgh when they never made the move since Rothenberger stated he did not want to play no more.
Right.
And the organization, when you have a quarterback or one of your key players in the locker room say, I just don't have the desire to play, or I want to trade, I just want to move on. You got to look at that because that affects all the other teammates.
Mm.
And Pittsburgh, from Rooney on down, did not make the move. You can see it, what happens with a lot of these teams. So McCarthy, to me, I'm going to look at this as if what they were saying about Tomlin. Take a year off, assess the game, and see if you have the drive or you have the desire to want to coach.
Well,
Now,
Tomlin's not coming back.
I'm just saying, Mike, I'm just using it as an example. McCarthy has been out a year.
Right.
So an opportunity has come up for him to re-enter.
Mhm.
So the opportunity for him to re-enter means that Rooney organization, Steelers organization, looked at him, that who's out there that can still hold down what they traditionally believe in. So he happens to be that guy. It's just like the Cowboys owner when he got McCarthy.
Jones.
They were good
Mhm.
friends. They were good friends.
Yeah,
They were
Mhm.
fishing buddies. So hey, I'll give you a job, man. Just coach my Cowboys for a couple of seasons.
yeah.
See, they
And,
looked out
and
for each other.
and not
Bob,
just that,
That
there's
was a
also a
mistake.
rumor that Howard's not his guy.
see, we have to see how this plays out come before about May.
We're going to
It
see
might
now. Unless he's going to bring somebody in that is going to coach him up, that is going to show him like a Kirk Cousins or somebody like that.
No,
We'll see.
no.
Um, what do you think about Kevin Stefanski to the Falcons?
It was a good move till he brought his OC with him.
I could care less.
I mean, it's a good move. I mean, he may get. I don't know look. I don't know what to think about the Falcons. I don't know. So I mean, it's just a move.
Yes. And just like the Solomon move with San Francisco letting him go, I'm like, okay, what are y'all doing? Are you blaming your defensive coordinator, or did they make a move because Rodgers called him out, because he's a different he's not an American per se by his name, Muslim.
Who, Robert Sala?
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
he's the guy from the three. He's the guy from 300.
and see, you really we, and I'm gonna say we don't really know how all of this is playing or why it's getting played out. Because for the team at least got to play, made it to the playoffs, why are you firing him? And your defense was not truly the cause of you losing the game.
No.
Just like some of these coaches, Buffalo, they fired their coach, but really Josh Allen blew that game.
Yeah.
And I let him go and let my next quarterback come in. Get somebody else.
It's like what I said about Brock Purdy. San Francisco made a mistake in signing him because he's not that quarterback that can win the game
Thank
if you need him to. He's never been that guy.
They just wanted the white man. I hate going there, but they wanted him to make more money than our black quarterbacks that make significant changes in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't think Brock Purdy's ever going to get to the Super Bowl unless Shanahan. No, he's
Don't
not.
say that because they already went.
He's not going back. I'm talking about winning. I don't care about going. I'm talking about winning.
Winning. Look how many times the Buffalo Bills with Jim Kelly went. They had the team for 4 straight years, just like Seattle looked good. You
It,
got teams that are really connected, but for some reason they just can't get over the hump.
Josh Allen 0-7. Let that sing it. 0-7.
Time for
Okay,
him.
okay, but Josh Allen can say I'm 0-7, but what's Lamar? Lamar
It does.
0-10.
You
Y'all
see.
had-
I like. I'm sorry. I like how you gloss. I like how you just glossed over that.
No, the thing is,
You you just glossed over that.
the thing is with
You
Josh
just glossed.
Allen.
You just
The
glossed over
thing
that. The
is,
hit. You
Josh
just glossed.
Allen. Josh Allen has the same issue that Lamar has.
But
He don't have the wide receivers, and he's not
okay.
Superman. He can't.
But
You
what
can't
I'm
put
saying to
everything
you,
on him
he's
to take
zero and
over the game.
seven. Period.
Period.
Zero
Period.
and 7.
Okay, he's
And
0-7.
he's not rumored to be traded. See, they
That's the
keeping
only
him.
difference.
Well, they not going to do that because they know that attracts what is coaching.
He's
Um,
Well,
he's a
Josh
losing
Allen,
white boy.
I'm like this to you. I'm like this to you. It's not. What's not being said. I'm gonna. And Jerry Jones said it best. I'm gonna ride this pony until I can't ride this pony no more until he gets played out, worn out, and we get rid of him. He bringing butts to the seat. He's putting money in my pocket. So it doesn't
he
matter if
just
you get.
built. He just get a stadium built. So yeah, I get it.
So
I get
okay,
it.
you build a new stadium. That's only going to attract more money.
I
So as
get it.
long as you got Josh Allen, you're going to attract money.
Yeah. Well, we got some other breaking news. Clint Kuviat took his name out of consideration for the head coaching jobs. So now he's staying with the 49ers.
Really think Shanahan, he just Shanahan.
No, it's time for him to go too.
He said he just said
He's just Shanahan. I mean, come on. His father got there a couple times, but I mean,
He's just real. He's just a hard nosed white boy. If you remember when the Monday night game or Sunday night game, and Troy Aikman said he's your hard nosed white boy. He said if I could play the game, I'll come back and I want to play for him. He's no nonsense. So when
yeah,
you have a coach, when you have a player, and God, I have to keep bringing it up because it's the biggest difference. When you have a white boy that's stern, you're going to still be respected. When you have
yeah,
a black man that's stern, he's going to be disrespected because he's not following um, protocol.
yeah,
Tomlin was hard nosed, even though the owners they liked him. He knew how to stay in his place. But the thing was, he got those guys to play. You don't have another coach like that. That's why they kept saying he'll get a job. They didn't say that about McCarthy or any other white boys. Not even
no,
Belichick.
nope.
Belichick supposed to have been a winner, but they kicked him out of the league. He go to North Carolina because you got to stick with what you stood for, and he stood for that hidden racism within him. And I got to keep these young black kids to stay in their place. These white boys, you get that opportunity, and that's the hidden message there, Will.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
did he sound angry?
right. Right. Um. um. So
I'm
what's the
sorry.
other one?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
just
just
trying to
saying.
bring. I'm just trying to bring that hidden view or the viewpoint of our verbal side that people don't want to speak about. We talk it at home behind closed doors and all of that, but until you can address it, only then can you make the changes, culture wise, to get the best out of people to want to play for. Hey, come play for my organization, man. I like the way y'all are going. And when you hear the commentator speak about an organization and in that way, you know that's where players really want to go.
Yep.
Now speaking on that note, we still got the team, the ones that's out there, which is the Patriot. I mean, which is Buffalo, the Raiders, um, Arizona, and I want to say and Cleveland. So out of all of them, who do you think fits what they're trying to do, and who do you think that they should just say, okay, nah, I don't think that person should go there.
Let me say this: Buffalo is gonna have a hard time getting the coach. Why? Because of what the owner just said and throwing his coach and his GM under the bus.
Yep.
So they're gonna have a hard time finding a coach. Anytime they reach out to Richard Sherman, you know they desperate for a daggone coach.
Yeah, yeah, it's mistakes you make and it's mistakes and that was one. Now
Yeah.
the other two that we didn't bring up was the Dolphins' new head coach Jeff Halfley and Robert Salas with Tennessee.
Ooh,
What do
the
you think
Dolphins.
about them?
I thought the Tennessee pick is a shocker. Like I said, for what went down in New York. Ah, the carousel will continue to see who rides that horse better and
Well,
get them
the
to
New
be.
York thing, the New York thing, one, he didn't want Aaron Rodgers. He was forced with Aaron Rodgers. Okay. I seen everybody, even Stevie Wonder, seen that that was coming, that he was going to get out of there. Because Aaron Rodgers is known for one thing: getting coaches fired. Okay, he got Mike McCarthy fired in Green Bay. Now he got Robert Saleh fired. I think Saleh going to Tennessee makes a whole lot of sense. It just depends on who he picks as his offensive coordinator for Cam Ward.
All right, that's your opinion.
They
Yeah,
say anything to you so far? Hmm?
I I'm just
Uh,
saying. And I think the
uh,
Dolphins one, now that
huh?
one right there is one where you brought in an
Hmm.
offensive minded coach.
Huh?
You had an offensive minded coach in Mike McDonald. And what happened with that was, hey, he brought in his offense. We thought it was going to
Huh?
work. It didn't work. To me, they should have went defense on
Yeah.
that side of the ball because of the fact of with Mike McDonald, you're looking at with
Yeah.
Mike McDonald is one of
We'll
them where
see.
it's
We'll see.
my fault. With Mike McDonald is one of them where it's did my offense work or
Huh?
didn't it because they had Tua. So what do y'all think, about that move? Hello?
As far as what?
What do you think about that Miami move?
A Halfley?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know much about him. So I don't know what to think about him.
Well, he's the offensive coordinator for he's the offensive
Defense,
he was
defensive
the
coordinator.
no, he was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay.
He was the defensive coordinator in Green Bay.
Oh yeah. My fault. You're right. He was the DC in Green Bay. So what do you? So I think they made the right move because the offensive side of the ball for them didn't work with the offense with the coordinator that they had.
Mhm.
I think given the fact that they had a coordinator that basically was an offensive minded coordinator, but also you had a quarterback in Tua that some people would say, Tua's Tua.
Just said
Okay.
alert.
Yeah. Which people say Tua's Tua. So my thing on that is this: if Tua wasn't there or they would have moved on from Tua, what do you think would have happened, Will?
Oh man. I don't know, man. Tua, I mean, I hate this, and Brian Flores touched on this a long time ago with Tua when he knew Tua wasn't the quarterback to be,
Right,
and everybody thought he was just being hard on Tua,
right.
and they should get it. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they even think about it. I mean, I don't know. We'll say they're gonna find another quarterback. He's gonna be the highest paid backup quarterback there is.
Yeah,
If they
because they
don't,
can't. Them trying to get out of that thing is hard.
it's 99 million.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. That's
But
crazy.
they do have an option though.
What
They don't.
option is any? How much guarantee does he have left? That's the
So
question.
it's 99 million, but they can split it up in 2 years for 2 years.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
So
If Miami is really serious about being nation, they would have made moves to trade Tour and brought in a young college quarterback, whoever was number 2, 3, 4, 5 on the list, the
Right.
draft list. Flora Bryant, he messed up when he spoke of the ratio and fraction of Miami losing those games with the owner, and that just put him in that. He's got an asterisk by his name. But he's cautious. They being cautious. But Miami is never going to be relevant. Right now the push is for Jacksonville to be the relevant team in Florida. So
mhm.
that's how you gotta look outside the box on this hiring just to get by. And whoever becomes their coach and the assistants, offense and defense, it's short term. I don't see it being long term. To the owner saying this guy we can support.
Right.
Right now, you got owners making bad decisions that
What y'all
hurt the team.
rating? Right. No, I get it. Um. So I know we got the four left that everybody wants to see what's going to happen with that with the Bills, Browns, Cardinals, and the Raiders. So what I want to do is we already had enough talk about next season. Let's talk about this weekend and these four games. Which two games is zero margin for error for them games. The first one I want to get into is the AFC Championship game. One team brings an elite quarterback play, the other brings physical defense and pass rush, and to me, I think turnovers will decide the game. What is y'all input on it? Who do y'all like? And since it's only these four teams left, and what you think the outcome will be?
I like to know how did the Simpsons get the pull to pick the Broncos over Seattle. I mean over the Patriots.
You say
How,
how
how,
did who?
You
how did
said
the
the Simpsons?
Simpsons? Man, I got a news flash. The Simpsons have already picked them to be 34-20.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Wow.
Saw that on TV.
No, it's almost somebody sent me that
Oh.
email. I'm not gonna say who sent it, but I was shocked that they going to the TV. You got the Bo Nix fake leg injury, or he's too bruised to
Oh,
play.
that's a mess, yeah.
So that's an upset if it goes that way. That's one take, Mike.
And then they could be throwing people off.
Yeah.
You know
See,
what I'm
it's
saying?
just
Yeah.
it's.
do y'all want my swing on it?
Go
Well,
ahead.
start out. You can lead us off. I gave you the Simpsons point of view.
Okay. My lead on this is this, okay? I'm going to say this with the way that Sean Payton is as a coach and everything else and everything. I don't think New England is going to win the game, and I'm not saying because they're going to be outcoached. The league ain't going to let it happen, okay? And I think what it is you want the class that just came out. You want them to be successful, but you don't want them to capture that Super Bowl yet. You don't want Bo Nix. You don't want McCarthy. You don't want Daniels. You don't want Caleb Williams. You don't want them to capture it just yet, not this early. So if it comes to a league side of it, they're not going to let New England win because they're not going to put Drake May up there and say, hey, you're ready. No, that class ain't ready yet. And that's what I'm looking at. And also the other thing is that's killing them is they're putting him in the MVP talk, which everybody knows that is going to go to Matthew Stafford. So if anything, given the fact, and me and Will had this conversation before, this possibly Stafford's last year, and if it is, they're going to do him the same way they did Ray Lewis, take him out with a ring.
Well, like I said, they look out for theirs.
Unfortunately, it's going to be Seattle's going to win that, but
Seattle's going to win what?
the Sup's going to win that game tomorrow in the Super
No,
Bowl.
they're not.
Yeah,
No, they're
I
not.
agree.
Okay.
No, they're not.
All right.
The Rams
All right,
already beat. The Rams already beat them.
That doesn't mean anything, Mike. It's the
The Rams. The
Man,
Rams. The Rams knows how to beat them, and when it comes down to division opponents playing division opponents for a third time, and you know what's going on, that's going to be, yeah.
you back and forth on a lot of different things. When
Yeah.
I,
No, I like Seattle.
cause we had this when we had this conversation like this.
I like
Hey,
Seattle.
but you'll say, what's your favorite quote? It's hard beating team for the third time.
It is. It's hard beating a team for the
So
third time, and I agree. And look, I think Seattle could do it, but again, this may be Matthew Stafford's last year, and if it is, they're gonna let him go out with a ring.
I doubt it. I doubt it very seriously.
Why not? So, should I go back in history? Peyton Manning.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried
Why
about
not
the
go
history.
back in
I'm not worried
history?
about the history.
You need to because that's what they do.
Okay. We'll see how it all works out tomorrow. That's all I say. We'll see how it works out tomorrow.
Just like I told you, just like this. We're going back to Aaron Rodgers. I said it 2 weeks ago. They are not going to let Aaron Rodgers go out with an L in the division game. And when he beat y'all and they went to the playoffs, I said that's it. He can walk away now because of the fact he did what he had to do.
Okay.
Okay. And that's what they did. He's going off in the sunset. Okay, yeah, we won. Boom. That's it.
He's going off a loser.
But it's going to be Matthew Stafford. He's going to win the MVP and he's going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. As you say.
Well, I know you know Mike much better than I.
Well, no, he wants Mike McCarthy. He wants his old coach to win it, his old D coordinator to win it. But unfortunately, the league ain't gonna let that happen.
Say what?
You want your old coordinator to win it, and
what's the old
unfortunately,
coordinator?
the league ain't gonna let it happen.
What coordinator?
Y'all old defensive coordinator.
Okay. Okay. I'm just saying. No.
Go ahead. I got you, Will.
I'm saying,
Mike.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Collins.
Mike, if you recall, last season and the season before, and I brought up his name to thought that you might jump in on where you went. Eric Bieniemy was the offensive guru for Kansas City for almost 8 years, for as long as he's been with Kansas City. Then he comes to Washington. All I heard you say is, we got him, we going to the Super Bowl.
That's all I said.
Yeah, you did.
Never know Sam Howell.
You was high on Sam Howell too.
Not the way.
You was high.
Yeah,
oh Sam my, you was high on.
Take over, Will.
If Sam
you was high, man, come on, Mike.
If Sam, listen,
Mike, come on, man.
Let me finish. If Sam Howell had the right coordinator other
Oh.
than the enemy, Sam Howell would have been that quarterback. And
But you were
that's
singing, okay, but you were singing Eric Bieniemy's praises before he even got on the
On
coach.
the team.
yeah, Eric Bieniemy, he he's a good OC.
Seller,
Okay, he
but you was
knows he
but you was
knows
hot.
he
Okay.
knows he knows in certain things what to do. Okay, he proved this point in the Philly game when they played in the Super Bowl when Andy Reid called the first half and he called the second half. Okay, but
Okay.
the thing is, he also got exploited because of the fact of this, just like Matt Nagy got exploited. You cannot become an OC without being up underneath of Andy Reid. Because everybody know Andy Reid calls the offense. Okay. Where the enemy messed up at was this. He got past Happy and he never ran the ball. So you're setting a young quarterback up for failure. And that's what he did.
Now I
Okay.
brought that up because I wasn't going in the direction you were going. I'm speaking to you directly. When Will said that you spoke highly of your previous, no, you're speaking of Matt Stafford. If the
Right.
league wants a person to be successful, they will lead it that way. Peyton Manning became successful because he had that neck surgery. So they wanted him to win a Super Bowl and go out because he had already changed the quarterback game. He showed you how to study the game, film.
Matt,
Brady taught you how to quarterback the game.
right.
Remember,
And Matt,
remember Tebow?
right.
Tebow and Tua are in the same category of just guys trying to be a quarterback, trying to be an NFL player. Baker trying to be a quarterback, but they're willing to. He's showing toughness. So you got to look at the guys that they're really highlighting, and what are they really bringing to the game that's going to innovatively change it. And you don't have that many players out there. When Lamar came on the scene, like I said, he was another Randall Cunningham. He could throw, he had the arm, and he could run. But do you allow him to be that guy? That's why they put so much interest in Josh Allen because they wanted to have him surpass Lamar and at the same time
Excuse me. Yeah.
outshine Mahomes. You got to look at where they what the it's a white face sport, white face America. And if y'all out there don't see it, they're only going to use us for a short time frame,
Yep.
and that's the bottom line. Stafford, if they always been saying the Rams going to the Super Bowl, I hope they get upset by Seattle. That'll crush that
Yeah.
because Seattle is not known. The
That
Broncos, if they owe Sean Payton a move of showing them how to cut finances by getting rid of Russell Wilson and bringing a young guy that he can mold and take his skills and make him a better quarterback, which was Bo Nix. And then Harbaugh is getting the same opportunity with Dart. So you got to look at where they're really going with this. It could be wrong. I could be wrong, but it's just this is what history has
you
shown.
got you
And
got
this could
you gotta realize this, and then we're gonna basically move on to the picks and then the final thoughts. You gotta realize one thing: when they brought in this internet, when they started this international stuff, you have to make it more competitive so you can send certain teams overseas. Okay, and I think the teams that they want overseas are competitive teams. So when they plan an international series, you won't get blowouts, you won't get boring games, you won't get this, you won't get that. So them mixing and matching and doing everything that they're doing, that's the league trying to say, hey, we're going to maximize on this. And remember, I was saying the shield is what is the most important because they need to make their money. The owners is going to make their profit. The owner made their profit off the TV deals. They make their profits off of merchandise sales and everything else. The shield has to get theirs off of gambling. And unfortunately, that's how it is.
Hmm.
And
That's
so,
I agree, but let me throw this in there. When you're speaking of international play, how many of the teams with a black quarterback have gone over and played outside the country? You haven't seen that.
Yes, you have.
Who? How many times
Chicago,
have Baltimore? How many times have Baltimore gone over there?
3 times.
Recently,
Yeah,
Three times.
with since they've been doing this.
3 times.
But then them
Three.
play.
3 times. They've been 3 times. Philly been 3 times with Jalen Hurts.
All right, I stand
Yeah,
corrected.
yeah. They've been 3 times.
But that was before Trump took office.
Yeah,
yes.
So you ain't gonna
right.
get that. You ain't gonna get that moving forward. But all in all, what you're saying, Mike, is the revenue aspect of it because you got to draw interest. You know, if they accept the key players of the game, and when you go and these fans like so and so and so and so and so and so, that's who they're gonna market to keep you watching.
And
Yeah.
So
and and one last thing to piggyback off of before we get into our picks and, like I said, the final thought. I want to piggyback off of what Belinda said about the Cowboys and getting that right fit. And what that has to do with, and this put Harbaugh, this is the reason why too Harbaugh came to the NFC East is they want to build the NFC East back up to the way the NFC East was. Okay. If you look at it, this is Super Bowl 60 coming up. The NFC East has more, not only just Super Bowl appearances, but Super Bowls than everybody. So you got to bring that marquee division back up. Starts with the head coach. Then it starts with getting the right defense in so that Dallas can be more competitive, and you may see all four teams inside the playoffs. But it starts with bringing in the right people, bringing in the right coaches. That's why they went and got Harbaugh, and that's why we got to wait and see what Dallas is going to do because the Eagles just signed Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator for the coach to be their OC. So they went outside of their bubble and saying we're going to bring in this guy and see what this guy can do. Now
every
was
every
that a,
division is gonna take turns being in the spotlight. The Western Conference with Seattle, the Rams, and the Falcons were there. They've had their time frame. And then you had the North with Chicago, Detroit, even then with so everybody's gonna get their opportunity, and it's coming around for the NFC East. The South is still up in the air.
all of them is still up in the air? But yeah, you're right. So this is my thing. Like I said, on the AFC side, I trust the team that protects the football. The AFC side, I trust the more physical team late. Now, if they don't do no gimmicks and they just have that championship DNA, we're going to have good teams. But like I always say, too, good games. But like I always say, too, is whoever make that bonehead move is going to be the one that's going to cost their team that game. And hopefully, we don't see no bonehead moves, and we see a fair enough game on both with the teams and the referees.
We will see.
Yeah, we will. It's just how the league wants to do it, and that's my thing. Now let's get into the picks and who I'm gonna start with Collins and Belinda. Who are y'all picking for the NFC and who are y'all picking for the AFC?
I'm going with the Broncos and Seahawks.
Okay,
Yep.
Collins.
I'm definitely going with the Seahawks over the Rams. And the Simpsons said that the Broncos can upset the Patriots, but I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna lean toward the Patriots.
Okay, Will.
I'll go Seahawks and Broncos.
Seahawks and Broncos. Okay, and
Take a long shot. Yeah.
and I'm gonna go Broncos and the Rams. I'm going with the colors that's on the as everybody say, you gotta look at the colors that's on the NFL logo. So I'm going with the colors that's on the NFL logo, which is blue and gold. So,
And, and I tell you why. And I tell you why I'm going with the Broncos.
why is that?
The NFL owes Sean Payton. They owe him.
You see.
That
You know
that
why
is
they
true.
owe him? Know why
That
they
is
owe
true.
him? Do you
Go
know
ahead.
why?
Go ahead.
For that missed pass interference call some years back.
Yeah. Yep.
So they owe that to him.
I agree. That. Yeah.
So this
And
is
then
the
not only not only that, but you may agree with this. That makeup call for that interception that wasn't an interception. That should have been caught. His knee
they
was down.
you can debate that, but every receiver that's played in the NFL has said it. Former NFL receivers, you got to complete the catch.
The catch was completed.
It was
All the
not
way.
completed.
Yes, it
He got
was.
he got to
They,
possess the ball. He got as many times as we've seen that play happens. You got to
he
possess the ball coming up out
he
off the
he
tackle.
he possessed the ball all the way to the ground. He
But you
had
got but you
three.
got possess.
Hold
But
on,
you got
listen. The referee, even the league went back and looked at it, and they said that when he caught the ball, he came down to the ground. He had the possession on the ground. When he turned, is when he stripped the ball. Once he had possession, when he touched the ground and he was touched, he was down by contact.
hey
That's
Mike.
the fact.
How many times have we seen that same play happen with different receivers, and they still come up with the ball in their arms?
Okay, right after that, we seen it 3 times, and they all called the pass was a catch. They never called. That was the only game that they did it on.
They
After
said the
I'm a,
ball.
that,
He never had firm possession of the ball.
yes, he did.
He did not.
Go back and watch it. Watch it
The
on the
ball
all
was the ball
22.
was it was in his arm, but it was loose.
No, it was not. The
Okay,
and I,
NFL even showed it. He came down to the ground with the ball.
okay,
When he
okay,
turned, the dude pulled the ball.
okay,
That was an interception. That was not an interception. That was a completed pass. He was down by contact. I watched it on
okay.
the 422. I
Well,
thought
you
the
got.
ball. I thought the ball moved. The ball did
I
not move.
I listened to the receivers, not no NFL 22.
Yeah,
The receiver,
the
the
all
receiver,
22, the all 22 is what you watch clip by
but
clip by clip by
but the
clip.
receiver, the ones who play the game, the receivers are the one that have the knowledge of the rules. Not all 22.
All 22 has a knowledge of the rule too.
It,
Now,
well,
now
you know
the
what?
same play.
You know
Listen,
what?
the same play happened 3 times. After that, the same play happened 3 times, and they gave the tie to the receiver. The tie always
They
went to
came
the
up with the
receiver.
ball. They came up with the ball in their hands.
No, they did not. No, they did not.
Okay, okay, all right.
I can go back and show you the 2 games. I can show you the 2 games where the receiver caught the ball. Once he was down, they stripped the ball out. They thinking they were gonna get that Denver call, and they didn't get that call.
Okay, all
Okay,
okay.
right.
Y'all done missed
I get
something.
you hate Buffalo, but gosh, bro, come on now.
Hey,
Mike,
hey,
I
Colin.
get it. You hate
Mike
Buffalo. You hate Josh Allen. I get
Mike
it.
and Will. One thing is missing. You're missing, like I said, when they go to a commercial and they have a controversial call, they go to a commercial to see where the money is going, where the money flow. Now let me go back to the rule book. Years ago, the ground could not cause a
Cost
fumble
fumble.
or
Right.
a control of the ball. Once the receiver had it in his hands, his possession, it was a catch. But if he
Yeah.
hit the ground and he fumbled or lost it, that was an incomplete pass. But they still gave it to the receiver. So the
Yeah.
rules changed the
A
game
lot.
a lot. So see, it's so controversial now because the gambling aspect has come into play. So you are both right, but you're gonna constantly be bickering about it. But when they go to that commercial, wherever that money is, that's the call they gonna make.
Yep.
No, yeah, you're right. So on that note, and my picks are I got Denver and the Rams. So be prepared for a Denver Ram Super Bowl. Yeah,
I'm
that's
going
just
with the reason why I picked the Patriots is because once again, this country is in disarray. So you got to find some unity, and that's where the unity is going to come with the word patriot, with the red, white, blue.
Yes.
I'm not saying all of that. But what I am saying is the rank. I I like to see. I like to see this. I like to see Sean McVay against baby Sean McVay. Okay.
Hmm.
Well. Sean Payton against baby Sean Payton because I like to see Sean McVay see what he's going to do against Sean Payton in that offense and see what he schemes up.
I don't
So
think they're gonna. Seattle, they're playing at Seattle, right?
yeah, they beat Seattle in Seattle.
You know, I think this time around it's gonna be a different story. It's gonna be a
I
different
would,
story this time around.
I would, I would
Seattle is
agree.
hungry. The younger players are hungry. They gonna come out and play. And if
It
they're the
ain't.
home team, they're gonna be ready to take the Rams out.
Let's hope it's good
I
game.
get, I get everything that y'all are saying, but the thing is this: you have to look at it. They're gonna be hungry where they may make a mistake, and where it may cost the team. So if you look at it, you have a championship coach that's been there and won it against a rookie coach who hasn't even sniffed the Super Bowl. Okay, so and yeah, I'm taking a shot at the Ravens, who hasn't sniffed the Super Bowl. So
Did the
that
Rams
right
did the
there,
Rams not did the Rams not win the Super Bowl under McVay when he was a young rookie coach?
yes, they did.
Okay, so why can't Seattle do that?
Which
See,
cause not a rookie coach.
the
Mm.
possibilities are there. The
This is
possibilities are there.
the
And
possibilities is
we
there.
will hit you with the 3-team turnaround.
The possibility is there, but I'm looking at the coaching staff. I'm looking at the experience and quarterbacking. Okay,
You know what?
remember this.
That's like
Remember
that's
this.
like that's
I
like
don't trust Sam Donald at
you
all.
know what? You know what? I think last year for Sam Darnold was the best experience for Sam Darnold. Was the very best experience.
Okay,
To know how to handle pressure.
okay.
Yep.
Now, last year, when they went in as a wild card, right? And basically, they got knocked out the first round.
But
It wasn't. It
what I'm
was.
saying,
Hold on. It was stuff at stake, but it wasn't that much. This is you win, you go to the Super Bowl.
but I get that.
You lose,
I
you
get
go home.
I get it. I
So it's
get
more
it.
pressure now than it was
Uh,
last year.
man, come
It's,
on.
it's an incentive, Mike. It's an incentive. That's
Incentive.
why you have the best organizational
I
coach
get it.
team advancing.
But
I get it.
right. But he learned from that pressure that he had last year in
Okay.
Minnesota where they just can't he didn't know he didn't know how to handle it. He did
I
not.
okay.
So being that he had even though this is more pressure, I think he'll be much better under these circumstances.
Sam
And
Donald against Matthew Stafford. I can't trust Sam Donald.
you know what? You
I
can't even
can't.
trust Matthew Stafford.
I got more faith in
You
Matthew
you can't
Stafford
you
because
can't
the
you
reason
cannot
why, listen, the reason why, besides him putting up MVP numbers, Matthew Stafford been there and he knows how to win the big
what
games.
else? You can't trust Matthew Stafford either, brother.
Yes, you can.
You cannot. All the
I
time.
trust,
Let me
I
say
trust
this.
Stafford.
Let me say this. Let me say this to you. Every now and then, it don't happen often, where Matthew Stafford will throw you a gift.
Every now and then. Not like
So,
Sam
so
Donald will. Sam
Sam
Donald will throw you
Sam
two gifts.
Sam Darnold only had 7 picks all year long. So what's your point?
Yeah.
7 picks.
Yeah. Seven
Seven
picks.
pick.
Listen,
7 picks. Seven.
listen.
Hold on, Mike. Mike,
I'm
hold
getting ready to
on.
make my point. You say, so what's my point? I'm getting ready to make my point. You can have 7 picks when you're playing the, the next week. This is win or go home. This is
Mike,
pressure.
I get it, but
I don't trust Sam Donald.
This is when to go home for Stafford as well.
You're not,
For
you're not,
for
you're not going to convince me. I'm
you're not
sorry.
going to convince me either. This is
That's
the thing.
it.
This is the thing here. You want. I'm hearing your point. I'm hearing what you're saying. But what I'm saying is you can compare the two. 7 picks, 8 picks. It doesn't matter. Um, they're both not going to throw you the ball that often. but somebody's gonna make a mistake somewhere. And it's been proven that Stafford will fumble the ball. He will get nervous and drop the ball on the ground. Somebody else will pick it up. That does happen. So will Donald. But it's just a thing of who's not gonna make that great mistake. That's
Right.
all it is.
Who plays
So
mistake-free football? And
so
to me, Matthew Stafford to play better mistake-free football than Sam Donald.
they
Because
both do they both do the same.
because the thing is this, to me, the two X factors for both teams
Come look at this.
is Jackson Smith and Jigba for Seattle
And
and
Puka
Puka.
Nakua.
Right. Them are
Okay.
the two X factors.
Okay.
But my surprise X factor is who's on the other side of Puka.
Adams, right. I
Right.
get that.
Right.
I get that.
Seattle don't have that number two.
They have a number two, but they have a number two,
But
but
that
that
number
number
two ain't a Devontae Adams.
no, it's not a Devontae Adams, but that number two is a silent assassin who will come in and will do some things.
So the same thing with Devontae.
Okay.
So that's why I
So
think it's going to come down to quarterback and play and who you trust. And like I said, I just can't trust Donald.
but I don't think Seattle's gonna make. You know what? The Rams barely beat them that last game. It was a 3-point. They barely won that game. So they play each other tough. So it's not going to be one's going to do more than the other. It's going to be a tight game.
Yeah,
It may come down to a field goal.
yeah.
So I will lean more towards Seattle because McDonald situational football, learning situational football in his second year as a head coach. It's just like saying, "Hey, Phil Jackson never won a ring before, but he had the best player and not so good of a cast. But they won. They won. Everybody played their roles. So Seattle may have their play. Everybody gonna play their role. So, okay, we'll see.
Cool. We'll
Cool.
see.
Just watch the controversial calls that pop up in the second half, especially
I
in
say
the fourth quarter.
3 Collins.
Maybe.
What? 3 confidential? Let me see. If
You
we
said
go over, no, he said 3 confidential.
Oh,
3.
I said watch the controversial calls that pop up in the fourth quarter, depending
said-
on how the game is going. If it's a
I'm
close
saying
game,
3. Saying 3 of them.
okay, it might be 3. It's either one is going to turn the game. It's going to change the game, and once again, we're going to have an issue because the game of football is being directed off of gambling. You got to see that
I'm
into the
taking
main scheme.
I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over.
And that's why you're leaning for Matthew Stafford.
Right. I'm taking the over. But on
Oh.
that note, okay. Well, this is why the NFL is the king. While half the league is hiring coaches and rebuilding, 4 teams are still fighting for everything. By Saturday night, 2 teams are headed to the Super Bowl, and the other 2, they are starting the coaches search all over again. This has been the Regular Guys Podcast.
Fishing like all
On the championship weekend, we will be back next week to talk Super Bowl and make our picks and go from there. Hopefully it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But hit that like, subscribe, and drop your Super Bowl predictions in the chat, online, wherever. I appreciate my guests as normal. I appreciate my sidekick Will, even though me and him butt heads a lot, but I still love you.
Love you too, man. You
My
funny.
brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, love y'all. Enjoy the weekend, and y'all stay warm because this snowstorm is going to be hella crazy. But I love it because you get snow and football.
Well, I'm getting ready to go drop some salt on my driveway, so y'all go ahead and
We're about to do the same. We're about to do the same thing, even though it ain't going to work. But
no, it just makes it easy to shovel come Tuesday.
Yeah,
That's
well,
it.
no, well, you got to stay on top of the shoveling because it's going to be bad. But yeah, enjoy y'all weekend, and we will definitely text back and forth and also talk back and forth as well.
Have
All
a good
right.
one.
All right,
Take care.
all right,
Later.
yeah.